Hello and welcome. I am Ash Mannix. This is unfortunately Sweetest Monster. I say that because if you have been following me so far, I believe we are on part 6 now of this playthrough. We reached the main end of the visual novel where it was revealed that the spirit's Belle, the body that she was using, was not actually a body created of her own creation. It wasn't a body she had created for herself. She had actually taken over the body of our main character Robin's daughter. And if you know what happens in the last part of the playthrough between Belle and Robin, you know how absolutely horrific that revelation ends up being. And I actually suspected from part 2, I believe, or part 3 of the playthrough, I started to suspect that Belle might be Robin's daughter in some form. And I guess I was proven right. Though it seems to be the spirit aspect still being maintained, that, oh, I'm a spirit, so instead of creating a body, I had to possess a body, blah de blah de blah. I am of the opinion that maybe what's happening is the daughter has serious mental health issues, which has been like depression, suffering from depression, anxiety, and is on daily medication for it. Has issues where they feel that they've never been good enough for their father. They've been given the name Melody, but they're not very good at playing the piano. When they tried to learn when they were small, Robin, the father, made her cry at points, and so she was totally put off it. And I'm assuming various other things have happened in life to just like end up with serious anxiety, serious issues requiring psychiatric treatment. And from that, I think she's potentially formed a second personality. It's like a multiple personality complex. It's like schizophrenia. And what that personality is this Belle character. That's what I think is going on. But the visual novel is keeping to the idea that she is a spirit and she is just taken over the body of his daughter, rather than this being coming from his daughter, being a creation of a persona from by his daughter. Either way, I'm going to read this warning again because this is very apt. The story contains artistic depictions of sexual conduct. Yes, very serious, but illegal types of sexual conduct. All characters in the story are over the age of 18. This is what this says. That's what it says. That's all I'm going to say. Whether I question it a bit, but hey, they are all over the age of 18. Any similarities to real people, living or dead, are coincidental. So, on that note, let's get into it. We are on the epilogue now. We're at the point of the epilogue. On the epilogue. So if I just load my last save out of the ashes. So this is the day after. Day 5. No, it's still day 5. I don't think I slept a single wink last night. I tossed and turned, rumpling the duvet about me, so Sally moaned and mumbled at me to knock it off, because our feet were getting cold, but I didn't fall into the land of dreams. Even if I had managed it, I doubt I would have had any dreams. More like nightmares. Pale limbs, long and slender. Sooty black hair. Bright green eyes. Belle. Or is it Melody? Did any of that really happen? God, please make it so that this never happened. I don't know. Thoughts waltz around my head, but my body is slow and sluggish to process them. I can't keep up with the rapid movements of my mind. My head is filled with too many thoughts, the neural pathways inside my brain congested, but I'm so exhausted it's all I can do to keep my eyes open. My eyelids feel heavy, as though weighted down by lead. When the cheerful chirping of the birds greets me at around 6 a.m, I want nothing more than to smother myself with a pillow. They've never sounded more shrill or insistent, not even on days when I have to wake up early and go to work. It's cold outside, but it feels far too hot and stuffy in the bed. Maybe it's because of Sally. Her body is soft and warm, filled with blood vessels and slowly digesting pork pie. That's what we had on our picnic yesterday in Whitby. We had to eat it in the car given the torrential rain. I ate, my throat convulsing, while my neck was marked with Belle's insistent, fervent kisses. I hear Sally rising from the bed at around 7:30. She yawns and sighs, stretches and begins her daily routine, divesting herself of her white, almost childlike nightgown and fishing her favourite blue jeans from the wardrobe. Sally's one of those strange people who, after taking off her clothes at the end of the day, hangs them back up in the wardrobe. She doesn't scatter garments over the floor and tuts at me whenever I do it. Don't even think about it, mister. That's what she says. I listen to Sally getting dressed, hiding from humanity beneath the blankets. She's quiet, perhaps for my benefit. Maybe she thinks I'm still asleep. She doesn't want to inconvenience me. Is it because she loves me? But that makes it even worse. It would be easier if she hated me. If she finds out what happened yesterday, she really would hate me. I hate you, mate. Not that she would believe it. It's unimaginable. I don't know if I believe it myself. Don't show this again. Fuck off. You didn't need to show this again. You did not need to show the CG again. What is wrong with you, man? Why? Why you do this? Why you do this? But I can still remember the slick, wet sensation of Belle's insides. I can remember how the walls of her vagina squeezed my erection. Don't go over that. I remember how she made me come in my white flag spattered as pale on sides of her thighs. It's far too detailed to be a mere wet dream and much too disturbing. I haven't had wet dreams since I was a teenager. My self-control isn't that bad. Switch. God, I'm going to have to censor that. I curl up on myself like a cat in a basket, trying to catch at least a few minutes of sleep, but it isn't to be. How can I sleep in this state? In any event, it's far too bright. Sunshine filters in through a crack in the curtains. The birds are still chirping. Don't they have anything better to do? Probably not. They are birds, after all. I would be expecting too much. I can't sleep. Maybe I'll never be able to sleep again. So I get up. What else can I do? I get up like it's any other day. I dress myself automatically, though my fingers tremble, and pad over to the bathroom, brush my teeth, comb my hair, shave my face. The regularity is almost soothing. Almost. There's something sickening about it, like I'm trying to turn my back on the truth. How can I stand to look at my own reflection in the mirror? How can I? Fuck. I walk downstairs on trembling legs. I have to grip the banister tight. I'm worried one wrong move will make me fall, and I'll end up battered and broken on the floor. That may be preferable to what will happen if anybody finds out about last night. Never mind about Sally. What would the papers say? Primary school teacher rapes own daughter. Shh. It doesn't sound great. Mate. It sounds terrible. It sounds downright diabolical. It is downright diabolical. I feel terrible. Now we see her? Get the fuck out of here. Also, how does she switch hair? Good morning, Dad. Wait a minute. Dad? I stare slack-jawed, eyes open. My expression is so exaggerated I probably look like a cartoon character. When I turn the familiar hand over the kitchen door, now rendered unfamiliar after the events of last night, I never expected to encounter this. Melody is sitting at the kitchen table. My Melody. My daughter, Melody Hawkins. It's her. It's undeniably her. Her long black hair falls about her bare shoulders and a small smile flits across her lips. She's wearing the same dress, my man. I do not like this. Her eyes are brown. Her eyes have always been brown. Is it true? It is true she bears a striking resemblance to Belle. Mate, they have the same skin. They have the same body, you fucking dumbass. God, fuck off. You didn't reckon. They have the same skinny limbs, the same slight stature, even the same bitten fingernails, but there are a few key differences so intrinsic between the pair they can't possibly be the same. Mate, the only difference was the short hair and the eyes. She could be wearing a wig. They can't. Melody has Sally's nose and lips, but my eyes. That's because she's my little girl. My little girl who hasn't come down to eat breakfast with me in, oh, so long I can't even remember. Months, maybe? A whole year? This is not good. Not since Sally and I found her in the bathroom curled up inside the tub. She tried to kill herself, didn't she? Her eyes were open, but just barely, and her chest rose and fell so subtly she could have been a corpse. She was so cold, limp, and lifeless, I almost thought she was a corpse. Melody tried to kill herself 1 year ago. Sally and I called an ambulance. We went to the hospital with her. Sally was crying. I was too surprised to do anything much other than swear under my breath. My knuckles clenched together. I probably looked like I was going to hit somebody. The doctors pumped her stomach. She was sick for a few weeks and had to take some time off school, but she was fine in the end. They pumped her stomach. Did she take drink bleach or something? As right as rain, one of the nurses said, a smelly woman with a caramel-coloured hair. I liked that nurse a lot. She made my awkward trips to the hospital almost bearable. Melody certainly never made an effort. She just sat in the hospital bed silently, like a statue, never saying a word. She seemed more interested in staring at the wall than my face. It was almost like I had wronged her, which was ridiculous. She was the one who tried to kill herself. But maybe she was tired of making an effort. She must have been making an effort for a long, long time, until it all became too much. She wanted to kill herself, and I never even realized. After that, she became something of a recluse. She was always hiding away in her room. She never came down for breakfast. She walked herself to school. She graced us with her presence at the dinner table for 5 or 6 minutes per evening. That is, when she bothered to come down at all. Even then, she never lifted her head, never looked at my face. Can it really be? After all this time, is she really back? Melody. Hey, Dad. Melody tips her head to one side. The sunlight shines in through the window, catching her hair so it glistens. For once, she isn't wearing one of those awful oversized hoodies she favours. She's dressed in something soft and feminine that actually flatters her figure. And it's displaying a bit of skin, too. My man, it's the same fucking outfit that you saw her, the Belle, in last night. God help me. I always knew she could look cute if she tried. Is this guy an idiot? Is he a complete idiot? She just stopped trying. I know I've worried you a little this last year, and I really am sorry. I was going through a hard time. Oh, this is Melody. What? But Mum spoke to me yesterday after we got back from the trip. She said that you were trying really hard, and it made me think about some things. Right, all of a sudden, this is a 180. This is definitely a 180. You're sitting there like oozing confidence. That is not the look of someone that is, struggling or going out of their way to try and talk to their estranged parent. I thought maybe I didn't appreciate everything you did for me, and I know I can be kind of difficult. I don't think I'll make everything better, and it might be a little hard, but for what it's worth, She glances up at me beneath her eyelashes shyly. What? Beneath her eyelashes shyly, so demure almost takes my breath away. Why are we using demure so much? She's far more beautiful than I ever dared to imagine. How do you not notice this? Like, she's not... What, she brushed her hair? Does she not... I mean, come on, man. She became so beautiful in such a short space of time, and I missed it. I mean, does it matter? I don't know, man. I never noticed because I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. It's fine, Melly. I mean, I cough. Obviously, the things aren't fine. I don't know if they'll be fine for a while, and it would be delusional to say that they are, but... Robin? Sally rests a hand on my shoulder. She gives me a warning look. You're saying too much again. I don't like this. Why is there an epilogue? Could we not have ended it after... Like, why are we continuing? Oh, I don't want to continue this. I feel like the end of yesterday was like a stab to the heart, or stab to the gut, and this epilogue is just like someone repeatedly stabbing you again and again and again, right? Just to make you feel more pain. Yeah, sorry. Melody laughs. She actually laughs. It's a light, gentle sound, soft and musical, like a chiming bell. And what do you think of Melody's new dress? It's pretty, isn't it? I know, no comment. Yeah, I was about to say, it looks exactly the same. Familiar. Is he a complete dumbass? What do you mean disturbingly so? It's the same outfit, you can tell straight away. My man. Disturbingly so. No, don't flash through the CGs. Didn't I see that dress last night? Yeah, don't you dare show that CG again. I took Melly out shopping a few weeks ago. She's been wearing nothing but sweaters and hoodies lately, and well, though she's never bothered with her appearance too much, she is a girl. I thought she might appreciate some new clothes. Oh, this is Sally talking. If you're in a rut, changing your wardrobe can help. It's rather simple, but human brains aren't overly complex. Sometimes you just need a change of pace. You're right, Mum. I feel a lot better now. The mum chose the outfit? What the fuck are you getting for your child, man? I don't know. That's a little bit too revealing, but maybe I'm a bit like, I don't know. I mean, if your child wearing hoodies and that all the time, you're not gonna go and get a little black dress. What age is she, like? I knew you would. You just had to trust me. Wait, so did you pick this dress, Sally? I thought it was cute and it was on sale. Something extra. I don't know why. There's something extra wrong with this. Isn't it a bit revealing? Oh, don't be silly. Melody's a teenager. She's old enough to show a little bit of skin. She's not a little girl anymore. I feel like this is like not something a dad would think. I feel like it's typical that Rom's like, this is a bit too much skin. But I guess he would know. Fucking hate this. I was a little embarrassed to wear it at first. I don't usually dress like this, but Mum was so insistent, and since she's paid for it, I thought I might as well. And I was right. Sally smiles proudly, one hand on her hip. You look lovely, Melly. All the boys will be after you if you go out like this. Is that... Why would you want... I mean, you don't... I don't know. Do you need all the boys to be after you? Is that what... Like... And to be honest, in today's world, it don't take much. You don't need to wear a super... like a small... Like a little dress. You can just dress nicely and you'll get the attention. Anyway. But, well, I don't know if I want that. It might be a bit much. Sensible. Let's take it one step at a time. You don't need to be going to cocktail parties just yet. Cocktail parties? The fuck, Sally? Well, I'm not old enough to drink. I don't think Dad would appreciate it if I was started dating. Exactly, you're not allowed to date. Ever! We'll just have to get used to it. It's healthy to have 1 or 2 boyfriends at your age. What? I don't think you've had nearly enough life experience. What are you... Oh my god. That's what Joan Fowler says. Yous are all... What are you teaching this girl? She's right about that. You spent too long locked up inside your room. I mean, that is true. Well, I still feel a little self-conscious. But if it will make you too happy, I can try to make an effort. You don't need to make a boyfriend. You don't need to get a boyfriend. You can just go out, make friends. Go and do stuff. Enjoy life. That's really all we're asking, Melly dear. I'm so happy you've been feeling better. I really have, and it's all thanks to you two. It's because you never stopped supporting me, no matter what. No, man, this is suspicious. Suspicious 180 all of a sudden. Like this instant change? Nah. Sus. Of course, we're your parents, Melly. I know, but over the past few weeks, I think you've done more for me than parents ever would. I know I might have been difficult at times, and it's not possible to rewrite the past, but we can try to start afresh. We can start over. Why have you all of a sudden changed attitude. I don't want to know, actually. I don't want to know. Oh, Melly, do you really mean that? Yeah, I do. I really do. I love you, Mum, and... Don't emphasize. Melody looks at her, looks at me, her hair spilling over her shoulders. Dark black against white ivory. My man, calm your... Don't describe your daughter like this. Just like the keys of piano. Oh. Dude, something very wrong with you. Don't describe your daughter like this, and then don't associate it with the piano. I know you're a piano teacher, but fucking hell. I feel like this epilogue is just... Why? Just why everything? Why am I reading this? I really do love you. Don't say it like that. Why are we closing up on our chest? Dad. Very good, very good. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Platonic, loving, a father. No escape, face the consequences. I just got what? Let me check something. Oh, that was it. Oh. Was that everything? Notes? Well, let's read this. Hello everybody, and thank you for reading Sweetest Monster. If you're here, that means you finished reading the ending. And I wonder what you think of it. But you survived, and that's the most important thing. You're a bad, evil person. This novel hurt my soul. This visual novel has been in production for a while. I wrote the script in August 2015, then spent a very long sitting on it, mostly because I was worried what people would think. Understandably. The story is quite different from anything else I've written, and I also think it's meaner to the reader. Yes. At the time I wrote this, VNs like Necopara and the Sakura series were, and still are, the most popular best-selling VNs on Steam. As such, I decided I should try writing something fan-servicey too. I mean, that's what sells. Mate, is this fan service? Please don't say this was fan service. However, I don't think the story ended up too overtly fan servicey. I don't know who you wrote. My dude. You wrote a story of a man that did his daughter. I don't know about fan service, but this is FBI servicey. The atmosphere throughout is pretty creepy, with lots of washed out colour palettes, a gloomy, rainy setting, and the eerie music. Yeah, it's good setting, good music. I like the colour palette, the art style is different, and it was quite nice. My general aim was to write a VN with fan service elements, but whose primary goal was to unsettle the reader. Overly achieved. Rather than titillate them. I was not no. From the beginning, I mean, from what the things I've been hearing about this was it was bad, it was dark. So I was not here to be titillated at all. As a VN medium is quite full of fan service stories already, I thought it would be interesting if I was going to write fan service VN to make it a bit different. Yep. As such, the story feels kind of punishing towards the reader, because the twist exists more or less to make you feel bad and to make the fan service scenes that precede it uncomfortable in hindsight. I am so glad that I suspected pretty early on that something wasn't right. The bob haircut, like there was mention of a bob haircut, there was mention of other things. We hadn't seen his daughter, but we'd saw Sally. He kept on making comparisons between her and the daughter, and I went, is this his daughter? And so from the beginning I was on edge, suspecting that something wasn't up. So I would have, this would fucking make me feel like the scum of the earth if I was like getting off on any of this, and then the twist at the end, go away. What a horrible person. Well, not a horrible person, but I mean, I think the author got the point across. I think that it does do that if you don't think too much about it. I suppose if you went into this visual novel not knowing anything about it, I had an idea that it was dark, that's all. And so I just assumed the worst case scenario. I did not like how he was going for Catgirl when he was like in a marriage that had the that wasn't totally wasn't unsalvageable. It was just going through a rough patch. But yeah, and to make the fan service scenes uncomfortable. Hindsight, I know there are many more VNs out there that couple more graphic age scenes with more disturbing content, things like Sai no Uta. It wasn't more graphic. I feel like Sai no Uta didn't have more graphic hentai scenes. And Kikokugai come to mind. What's Kikokugai? Do I want to look this up? This Cyber Slayer. Sexual, suggestive, violent. Show me anyway. Maybe, yeah, not one I'll go for. So this story isn't that unique at all. Oh, man, if you, my only complaint was if you could have that CG shown a lot less, because I knew what was going on, and I was like, I don't want to see this. Also, I was playing through this and putting it online. I don't want. I have to edit this. And it's actually quite tame compared to a lot of Japanese VNs. True. Even so, I hope the story and the characters are well written enough for it to be affecting. Yes, I will say this: the characterization I think was really well done. Like even the side characters of whatever weight, descriptions of like the headmistress, the main characters Robin and Sally, it felt real. I mean, it helped that this was based in the UK, so there's like mention of the co-op and stuff like that, trolleys in the fucking local river, like the crappy weather, Whitby or whatever, places like that. I suppose for me that made it a bit the world seem more real because it was more closer to home than like a typical Japanese visual novel set in Japan and stuff, or like stuff set in America. Characterization was really well done. It felt realistic. The arguments did feel realistic. The thing I didn't like, and the path, I hated Robin, and I was like, you know this is bad, you shouldn't be doing it. But he knew that. I mean, he even said, I know this is bad, but I still want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I do want to do it. I'm doing it. Yeah, so characterization was really well done, right? To Ebihime, the author of this, for that was real well done. Even so, I hope the story and characters were well enough for it to be affecting. If the story was able to make you feel uncomfortable, I'd be very happy. You did. From the very beginning, for me, the discomfort started from seeing the route he was taking. So as soon as he saw the attractive cat girl, and as soon as he started kind of talking to her and being he was infatuated by her, highly interested in her from night one. I started to feel uncomfortable because I feel like we were going down a dark path, and it got darker and darker and got super dark, but it was like I was affected by it from the beginning. So inspiration. One of the biggest inspirations of Yen was Nekopara. It's probably obvious given the heroine is a cat girl, but there's a bit more to it. In Nekopara, it stated Chocolate is lovey-dovey towards Kasho because he nursed her back to health when she was sick. Vanilla being Vanilla loves Chocolate and willingly engages in kawaii 3P action. What? Because it will make her sister happy and she's fond of Kasho, as he also took care of her. While I was reading, I thought, this is cute enough in a fictional story, but if you applied it to real life, what if a person decided to devote their being entirely to another because they happened to help them out once? Wouldn't that seem a little too intense? Yes. As such, I tried to present Belle's obsession with Robin as discomforting rather than charming, and maybe even selfish. While Robin is flattered about the attention, he's also uneasy and would have been a lot happier in the long run if Belle just left him alone. Yep. Another big inspiration for this story was the Korean movie Old Boy. I was thinking this as soon as I thought that this might be his daughter, I thought of Old Boy. I'm not going to tell you why. Watch Old Boy. Directed by Park Chan-wook. I won't go into details as to how exactly it was an inspiration, but if you've seen the movie, it should be apparent. Yes, I'll also recommend it because it's very good. Watch Oldboy. It's a very good movie. Finally, I took some bit of Belle's personality from Sylvia Plath's poem Lady Lazarus. Lady Lazarus is a rather dense and complicated poem that is probably about repeat suicide attempts, but the final line of it stuck out ever since I read it, and I eat men like air. I was always fond of this line and wanted to try writing a femme fatale who embodies this general sentiment for a while. I guess this sounds kind of pretentious though. No, I think you managed that. These are cool. I like this. Themes. Talking about themes in the story is a little hard since they're all over the place and not 100% cohesive, but I'll give it a shot. The main theme, I suppose, is about the presentation of fan service and VNs. I feel like a lot of fan services, including VNs for the sake of the reader, to make them feel good, but often there is no plot relevance for it. In fact, some fan service VNs on Steam don't have plots at all. They're just excuses to string images of scantily clad anime girls together. Moreover, in fan service VNs, girls will generally trip and fall over to expose their panties by accident, get tangled up in wires out of adorable stupidity, or get walked in on while changing in the bathroom, because that's just how life is in fun and happy VN land, I guess. I know, stupid. I wanted Belle to have a little more agency than that. All fan service scenes in the story occur because of her. She's supposed to feel like the one in control, and she instigates everything of her own free will. Yes. You know what? Now that you mention it, I appreciate that. I appreciate that it was not just like the things that she did. It made sense for her character. It made sense for the story. And yeah, she did have the agency in that. It didn't make my eyes roll. It just made me go, no, don't do it, Robin. However, she's only able to be in control because she's taking agency away from another character, Melody. Right, so the cat girl spirit thing is legit in the story, right? I just thought it was like you could explain it away with mental health, right? Melody should be a lot more important than she is, but she never gets her own spoken dialogue, and she doesn't even have a sprite. Until the end. This isn't because of budget reasons, I swear. It's supposed to represent how little impact Melody has in Robin's life, and how little he pays attention to her. Yeah, she's his daughter, but they never speak one-to-one in the story, and if they had, it probably wouldn't have ended so poorly. The typical brand of fan service you get in a lot of VNs is appealing. I think because it makes cute female characters powerless. If you assume a lot of popular VNs on Steam are fantasies made primarily to appeal to male egos, yeah, the male MC is the one in control, and the story universe characters exist solely for the sake of the man, or the sake of shrewd companies who are making banks by selling the stuff. Yeah. The "oh no, I have tripped and now you can see my panties" brand of fan service has always felt a bit voyeuristic to me, and I think there are some power play elements involved, so I wanted to write something that feels like it should be a male fantasy but disempowers the male lead. However, one of the male-female characters, Melody, is also disempowered, and unlike the cute and airheaded heroines of many fan service VNs, she ends up suffering because of it. Yeah, so you made it more realistic. It wasn't some male power fantasy bullshit. You've taken away the agency you've taken away the power from Robin, with Belle having that taking away his power. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Do you know, it was, when I think about it that way, when I look at the inspiration and the kind of themes, yeah, reading this, it's like, this makes me feel a bit better. I like that this was the reason this happened, because I was just like, what, this is fucked up, man. But the characterization was on point. It didn't feel like overt. It didn't feel like just fan service. It just felt like, it felt real in a weird way, even though it was a cat girl spirit thing. The kind of falling for someone that would showing a bit of attention because you're not being shown attention in life, ignoring your child, like feeling like you can't connect to them, and then just like having an aversion to them, and then just like you're not even talking to them, you're not even seeing them, and then Sally's telling him, it's like, you should, you know, at least talk to her, and doesn't even think to do that, like all these little mistakes, and then he's like, oh, I'm showing this attention to this cute girl, she's so beautiful, and then the irony, well, the twist of it being his daughter, and it's like you had this beautiful daughter who had, like, clearly there was something there. She has interest, she enjoys going to Whitby, there's things that she enjoys doing, you just don't understand, you've not bothered to try to understand. You tried to get her to play the piano, you gave her a name because of what you wanted her to be, and it was a name that was too much on the nose, and I think she hated it because she wasn't able to be as good a pianist. which showed, right, when Belle tried to play the piano with him, they were terrible. It was a terrible thing. That's why I still think that Melody might be a persona created in the mind. Sorry, Belle might be a persona created in the mind of Melody. That's why I thought that. Maybe the theme is just let's make everybody miserable then. That sounds about right. You did do that. Names. The characters' names were all chosen for specific reasons, since I had a clear image of what I wanted to portray. I think they're a little on the nose though. First up is the protagonist, Robin. I wanted to name him after a bird, since the main heroine is a cat girl and cats eat birds. I never thought about that. Tough luck, Robin. Also, Robins are kind of small and defenseless. His last name, Hawkins, was also clearly taken from a bird, though I guess hawks are a bit more intimidating. Also, it's the last name of the protagonist in Treasure Island, and I get the feeling Robin would have been into boys' adventure stories when he was younger. Next is Sally. Her name doesn't tie into any theme and isn't representative of anything. I just wanted a name that would be easy to spin into cute nicknames like Sal or Sally Pally. I took some inspiration from the romantic poet Coleridge, who nicknamed his wife Sarah Sally Pally. Did he? If you've ever read my previous visual novel Asphyxia, which I haven't, you might already know I'm quite fond of my romantic poets. Nice. After that is Melody. Her name is pretty simple. It represents Robin's desire for her to be musically inclined. But she continually gets referred to as a diminutive nickname in the story Melly, because she was unable to fulfill those expectations. I just thought it was a cute nickname. I didn't think... Because he does call her Melody, doesn't he? He calls her Melody in the end, doesn't he? Having a name that reminds you constantly that you failed your father's expectations must be quite a downer. Yep. True. Belle also points out during the narrative how ill-fitting her name is. Yeah, it was interesting. Belle was telling him things. You know, stuff that he... Yeah. And then there's the main female character, Belle. I wanted to give her a cute name that would suit a pet cat, but also one that could plausibly use for a girl. Also, Belle is a musical sound which ties into the recurring motif of music. In that sense, maybe it's a bit sad that Melody, whose name is more explicitly music related, should end up being upstaged by Belle, whose name is more tangentially linked. Characters. The main characters in Sweetest Monster would be Robin. He was intended to be somewhat similar to the male protagonist you'll see in many VNs, sarcastic and cynical, who occasionally make dry jokes. However, he's a lot older than most VN protagonists and is meant to be more world-weary. I wrote Robin partially as a challenge to myself, as I'm not comfortable with writing male characters, particularly adult males. No, I think you, and I'll say that, I think you wrote him quite well. The only thing was his reaction. I wonder, like, I get that he was taken aback and he was enamored when Belle kissed him and on the lips and stuff like that, but I feel like a man who's married with a child, he was a little bit too taken aback. I think like there's a little bit of that kind of like bashfulness that you would have maybe gotten from someone who was younger, that I saw in Robin, and I was like, why is he so abashed by this? Like, yeah, I mean, he might be like, oh my god, I'm trying to not be sexually attracted to this character, and that would have played into the kind of sexual attraction, and the kind of like, oh my god, someone really likes me. That is a little bit kind of, oh, that's nice, but I don't know. I think that's my only complaint. Otherwise, he felt like a pretty realistic, middle-aged male character. Robin's not meant to be an entirely likable character. Yep, I suppose his worst trait being how neglectful he is towards Melody. At the same time, however, he isn't supposed to be a bad person. He says and does a lot of callous things, but it's not entirely deliberate. He's not a malicious character, he's thoughtless. I got yeah, he doesn't think too much, but I got the feeling that he was, he said it, right, a coward. He's too afraid to try and address the hard things in life. Oh, my daughter's kind of being difficult. My answer to this is just to like walk away from it and give a distance. His own, like, even when it comes to romance, Sally pursued him. He didn't pursue Sally. Like, he doesn't have that bit of confidence and fire that allows him to like take take the reins when things are getting a bit rocky. Sally, meanwhile, was a bit tricky to write. I wanted the reader to understand why Robin feels infuriated with her, so she's often the one who instigates arguments, and some of her accusations are off base, like her suspicion he's having an affair with Arabella. True, but I thought that she was arguing about that more because she was just generally pissed off at the way he's being with Melly and her, you know, shrugging off, going on a trip with them when he said he would and stuff. However, I didn't want Sally to be an entirely dislikable character or seem too unreasonable, and it would be too easy to paint her as a nagging wife with no redeeming features, especially as the story is told from Robin's perspective. Therefore, Sally is shown to be a caring mother who loves Melody a lot. And she loves Robin too, though the monotony of their marriage has taken some of the initial spark away, and they while most of the time away arguing. You know, I think you did. Yeah, Sally was. I like Sally. And you showed it, right? She'd smile. She'd hide a smile here and there because she does. There's things about Robin she likes. She likes the little jokes. They get to her. You know, the fact that she was the one that pursued him was like adorable and made her character, I don't know, nicer. She likes him calling her Sally Pally. She shows care for Melody. Yeah, good stuff. As for Melody, I think she has some depth to her despite receiving no spoken dialogue. She's depressed and has social anxiety and tried to commit suicide and failed before the beginning of the game. She keeps herself to herself, rarely interacts with her family, and doesn't have many friends at school. She feels misunderstood and isolated, yet continues to isolate herself because she worries about burdening others. So I didn't get that, not because it wasn't portrayed well, I just didn't even think of that she was isolating herself partly because she didn't want to burden others. And her relationship with Robin is very strained. Robin regards her depression as a personal failing. This only happened because I'm a bad father. And feels guilty when he's around her. Melody in turn realizes that her father is disappointed in her and similarly feels guilty when she spends time with him. It's a vicious circle. I wanted to try and write a story about a depressed character from the point of view of somebody who does not have depression and who cannot understand it. As Robin cannot fix the issue and feels out of his depth, his ultimate solution is to ignore it. Yes, that pissed me off, but this makes their relationship even worse. Yes, this part here pissed me off about Robin's character. Solution's not to fucking ignore it, you dumbass. Fuck you. Fuck you, Robin. Last of all, there's Belle. She came from my desire to write a very outgoing and vivacious female character. I wanted her to be energetic, maybe even a bit of a Genki girl, but there's also something unsettling about her. She's possessive, pushy, and doesn't respect other people in the slightest. Yeah, that came across really well. Though she has a great deal of affection for Robin and threatens to harm the others around him, I wouldn't term her as a yandere. She isn't the kind of character who would snap under pressure and try to cause others physical harm. In the end, her feelings for Robin are also questionable. Though she likes him, it's unclear if she loves him, or if she's just playing around to alleviate her own boredom. Despite the fact Belle is easily the most morally bankrupt character I've ever written, I'm quite fond of her. I think she plays off of Robin's more deadpan delivery of it well, and their dialogue together was fun to write. That's cool. Oh, this is awesome. This section here, the notes, was awesome. Art gallery. Oh God, let's return. This is nice. I like return. What does return do? I like that they've got the daughter now, because this is who it really was. What does return do? Oh right, I was in the extra section. Well, that was something. I'm glad I read the extras. That made this a little bit better. Seeing the motivations behind the making the story, talking about how the characterization, all that, getting a bit of that extra detail was really cool. That was a really, really beneficial extra section. Quite happy to have seen that. Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Well, I'm glad it didn't go even darker than the end. What happened at the end of the main part of the visual novel. But yeah, there you go. Life continues. Melody is now. Is she Melody anymore, or is she actually Belle? yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. What a ride. I think I'll leave it there. What do you guys think? What have you thought about this ride through this visual novel? I would probably have a look at some of the other stuff that I think is Ebihime is the author, the creator of this game. Have a look at their other stuff. But yeah, leave a comment about what your thoughts are. Did you suspect the twist that ended up happening? And do you think my theory that mental health, you could explain this with like schizophrenia or whatever, rather than the spirit girl, cat girl? I mean, the way the author has talked about this, the creator has talked about this, the developer, it's the cat girl thing is legit. But yeah, I don't know, I still like my theory of split personality, but then that wouldn't explain the change in appearance. Anyway, before I cough myself to death, I'll leave it here. Thank you for joining me on this crazy ride. This is Sweetest Monster. I am Ash Mannix. I'll see you guys next time. Later.